This is Wade Wilson, who shares a name with Ryan Reynolds' character Deadpool, but this guy's no hero. One night in Florida, Wilson went on an all-out killing spree. Out at a bar, Wilson met 35-year-old Christine Melton. She took him back to her home, and what happened next was nothing short of horrific. Wilson strangled Melton after what authorities described as a drug-fueled sexual encounter, but his rampage didn't stop there. After taking her car, Wilson came across 43-year-old Diane Ruiz, a mother of two, who was simply asking for directions. He invited her into the car and, in a twist of pure evil, strangled her as well. But then, Wilson drove over her body repeatedly. Testimony during his trial described her as looking like spaghetti after the attack. When he was arrested, he showed no remorse. In fact, he reportedly told detectives he would do it again. In court, the judge described these crimes as heinous, atrocious, and cruel, and said there was no basis to overrule the jury's recommendation. And just this week, Wilson was sentenced to death. His defense tried to argue that Wilson's brain damage from years of drug abuse and his traumatic past, including abandonment by his biological parents, should spare him from the death penalty. But that argument fell on deaf ears. Now, Wilson will spend the rest of his days on death row. Critics say that this case is just one more example of how our society fails to address the root causes of violence, issues like mental health, trauma, and substance abuse. Many say we should focus more on prevention instead of just punishment, so everyone has access to the support they need before it's too late. A world like that is actually possible, but for now, the families of Christine Melton and Diane Ruiz are left to grieve, and Wade Wilson faces the ultimate consequence for his actions.
This guy right here, man, is so sick, and I feel bad for anybody who have to cross this sick mother sucker path. As well, I'm sorry for anybody that had to be around this sick mother sucker, because you know his conversations wasn't normal, for he do not look like a normal human being. And then just hearing what he's saying, seeing what he representing, you just know he's all bad. It's nothing good about him, you know. I just hate that these people had to go through what they went through, you know, because this could have been anybody that he did this type of stuff through, too. And, you know, the death penalty, I feel, for rapists and people like that, you know, guys who go on a murdering spree, I think the death penalty should always be on the table for people like that, because you see exactly what they are to society, the world, the environment that they be around. They are no good. And I feel like you should be the justice system, or someone should be the antibiotic to fight this fungus, because he is a fungus to me, and anybody need to take it out. That's how I look at folks like this. There's no other way to put it that sounds much nicer for what I'm trying to say. And you know, when you got an infection, antibiotic, take care of that. So we hope, you know what I'm saying, I know justice was served, but hopefully they can continue with the D penalty. And you know what I'm saying? You would think that stuff like this would scare these folks, but they think they so slick and can get away with it. And that's why it happened, you know. So y'all look at this face. I ain't trying to say anything about anybody else who got 10 million tattoos, you know, but at the same time, look what he represented. I mean,
24-year-old Brianna Kupfer was alone at work one day at this furniture store near Hollywood when this man allegedly walks in. She texted a manager saying the guy was giving her a bad vibe. Just 14 minutes later, a customer walked in and found Brianna lying on the floor covered in blood. Prosecutors say the 34-year-old man entered the store pretending to be a customer. He manipulated Brianna into a false sense of security, even leaving the store to fake a phone call. When he came back, he allegedly stabbed Brianna 46 times with such force that the knife he used was found bent at the seam. The most haunting detail, the guy apparently recorded the whole thing, including Brianna's final words, "I can help you, I can help you." But Smith responded with chilling callousness. "It's over, bitch." This all happened a couple of years ago, but the guy just went on trial this week. And while this case is getting a lot of coverage in LA, critics say that what corporate media never covers is why horrific crimes like this happen in the first place. An estimated 56% of adults in the United States who need mental health care receive no treatment at all, thanks to a medical industry focused on profit rather than helping people. What would crime look like in our country if the mentally ill got all the help they needed? If convicted, Brianna's alleged killer faces life in prison.
I really want to know why that happened, you know what I'm saying? Because these random attacks just make you gotta be a little bit more cautious when you out here in the public. And I know a lot of folks is going through it mentally, which, you know what I'm saying? I mean, so much shit's going on, you never know how the next day might work out. But, I mean, taking the life of someone, thinking you have the high power to make those decisions, I just don't understand why people who's going through it mentally want to be violent, like that's going to solve something, you know. Going to prison, that is not going to solve anything. I mean, even if you're homeless or somebody who done fell rock bottom, I'm pretty sure there's plenty of ways you can get around to something. It always got to be something or someone that's willing. And you can't just take no for an answer, because you know what no means? New opportunity. It means this one is dead. Time to go searching for it a different way. And, you know, unfortunately, people who love this woman isn't here right now. So I know how they feel by having a loved one not with you over the nonsense of somebody else's mental issue that's going on. And if they were to seek help, I'm pretty sure the right person would have, you know, gravitate to that person's needs. Now, we didn't hear anything about a relationship or anything like that. And she did say she texted her manager, or from what they found out, she texted her manager about the whole vibe she was feeling from this guy. So, again, if somebody's saying something, just don't turn the other way. Be serious about what they telling you until you go investigate and see what's going on. Just don't assume it's some bullshit.